Welcome to the show. It's a Spice Drive. And of course, in the studio, I'm not alone. I'm with my co-host today, a gentleman who shoots from straight and shoots straight and has many other things. Say hi to your peeps, my brother, and introduce yourself.
Interestingly, today I'm a show co-host, actually. I never thought I could be on radio as a co-host. But
you are now today.
My name is Kiarie. As usual, he's my boss, Charles.
Yes.
He's my boss. I work with him and under him here. Glad to be back.
Welcome back, Aleki. And today, first of all, Kiambu things are happening. 136 kids die in a hospital.
Oh no.
In 127 days. Newborn infants. What's happening in Kiambu? You know, I was born, I'm a man from Limuru.
It's so hard to talk about my county, actually. And you, of course, happen to be part of it.
Yes, I'm part of it, 100%.
It's really sad. A doctor's strike has been dragging on for quite a while. I think it's almost 120 days now, or just over, almost 4 months. And there seems to be no respite, no end to the whole thing. Just like being stuck in a tunnel without no light at the end of it.
Yeah.
And the most unfortunate part of it is that the whole coverage of it by the media seems to be muffled by the county government that seems to be keen on keeping everything under the carpet because they swept it there and they're happy for it to be over there, and it's really unfortunate. And the fact that it has been more political of late than issue-based. 136 is not just a number. It's about lives. It's about lives.
Too many kids. 136
It's really unfortunate.
Infants.
Yes.
And what makes me really sad is that it's like Kenyans are killing their future, because when you kill the young people, you're killing the future of a great nation.
Exactly.
And if you look at that 136 kids have died in Kiambu in a span of 127 days because of doctors strike in a county. And no one speaks about it. No one really seems concerned about it. Then you go to your schools, if capitation does not arrive until the end of the term. So you are not educating your kids the right way we are supposed to educate them. And then when you go to the universities are on strike. So university kids cannot go and proceed with their education to go and look for a better life out there. Who will help this young people?
I think what you're just mentioning is a big NGO. Nothing going on. And the fact that at the end of the day, when things fall into the cracks, it is the Kenyan who is suffering. We know that the issue of health is a devolved function. It is a mess that is actually being perpetuated by the counties that are not themselves receiving part of the so-called funds that they need from the national government. I don't know why, because my county, Kiambu, if I may stop being nationalistic on this, collects a lot of money. It's one of the few counties in the country that has been can be able to sustain itself in so many ways. It is the county that has some of the best facilities that seem to be working. It's just akin to a mono-eyed king in the land of the blind. Because if this is how things are in Kiambu County, which seems to be doing better or doing well, how are things in the counties that are not doing so well?
And the proximity to Nairobi is just 20 minutes.
Yeah, of course. Unfortunately or fortunately, from the city center to my village is 11 or 13 kilometers actually.
Actually, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's maximum around 20.
Yes. And for this, the county seems to have had the best in terms of infrastructure. But it's all about leadership and management of resources. So, because you cannot park a vehicle in a village in Kiambu without paying 100 shillings. Kiambu County. Where is the money going to? All those vehicles. This is a county, you go to a village and there's a traffic jam over there. Where are they taking all the money to? Why can't this government just sit back and negotiate with the doctors and agree on the terms? Because this is actually a contestation that is based on a CBA that was signed by both sides, but not honored by the county government, by one, that is. So it's really unfortunate. And the most annoying part of it is that they don't want this thing to be exposed by the media. Correspondents are being harassed left and right.
So the question to ask Wamatangi, who is a governor,
my village mate,
is it this? Are you happy presiding over a county where young infants are dying, when immediately after birth? What are you doing to resolve this matter?
Can you just talk about it kindly, Governor? Because silence is not actually the solution. The last time I heard him speak, he was talking about how he was humiliated during the funeral service of the late Mzee Ishungo, whom we were praising here.
He's a great man.
Yes,
that was a great man.
His polygamous run.
Yes.
And it's very interesting. But he was more bitter and hurt with the way, or by the way he was treated during that funeral. Not talking about the issue of the health workers strike.
So the governor just must style up. That's what we say. He must style up and address the issues affecting the health workers in Kiambu.
And by the way, can I just shock you more?
Yeah.
The possibility of some of the people or some of the children dying there is so high amongst the poor. Poor people from Kiambu County, and also those who work there, who work and live within Kiambu County, who cannot afford some of these things. Because it's not very cheap to get some of these services from private hospitals.
Okay. Alex, before we proceed on the Kiambu matter, we've captured this, that Kenyans are basically killing their future. And what I was seeing is that that's why Kenyans are going to Russia on the war front, because they have no hope in this country. What's your take? Because if I can't get a job, I've gone to school, I have everything, and Russia offers me chance to go and fight for them, which I'm sure I'll get. Are they being given 100,000 down payment or something? And young Kenyans are saying, okay, I'd rather risk my life but die poor. I'd rather die standing than die on my knees. You see,
this is a country, I think the only nation in Africa that is led by a PhD holder and deputized by a professor. Have you ever thought about it?
And the opposition leader is an engineer.
As an engineer. With a huge population of experts.
Yes.
But we cannot help ourselves. The fact that Kenyans are going to fight in Russia is not a paradox in any way. It is a reality that was expected. A war in Europe happens to be a world war. It's just that we are not colonized today for them to force us to go and fight on the front lines. Now they have to buy us. And actually, don't be shocked. Ukraine is also buying fighters. It is also using prisoners. You get your freedom, you go kill. As one of them was saying the other day, I'm an expert at killing, so let me just go be allowed to kill and not be jailed after that. But so here, it is just an issue of a Kenyan going to fight to earn a living because things are tough.
Things are really tough.
Get these people out of the streets.
Our great-grandfathers went to Burma and they were conscripted by force.
Yes.
But now you don't need to conscript Kenyans by force anymore.
Money.
You just need to give them money and they get conscripted for you to fight for you for free.
Are we cheap?
Extremely cheap.
Or have we been cheapened?
We've been cheapened because we don't have jobs to offer our people.
But isn't it our failure? Isn't it our problem?
It is the government's problem to create an avenue where Kenyans can get work.
Now you're talking about government getting work, and a Goa agreement just ended. Is it on Tuesday? And you're here begging. Yeah. Can't we just create our own market and sustain ourselves as a nation? Because we have everything here, but we are almost importing everything on the other hand.
We are importing. The worst thing in this country is that we import toothpicks.
We're importing maize. Ugali.
No, toothpicks.
I know ugali. You're importing ugali.
You know, the saddest thing in the world is that the toothpick you use is an imported product. Madness. Total madness.
Can't we just grow bamboo trees and make toothpicks out of this?
We can.
Then what's wrong with us?
We are just lazy.
Can't we just grow our maize sector? Galana Kulalu. Okay, I have a director here called Anyumba. He calls it Galana Kalulu. I don't know why. But Galana was supposed to boost our food security by almost 30%. What happened?
It's mad.
Buraya irrigation scheme. What happened?
Kenyans, we need to wake up and this.
And by the way, we need to come back and talk about maize.
Yes. What is the politics of maize?
This character called David Monaka.
Yes.
He traveled to the UK.
Yes.
Settled in a place called Cambridgeshire, Land Beach, and he missed eating maize, ugali. And he grew maize over there. Then it thrived. Then he went around there and leased a 500-acre piece of land. He is growing white maize, the first in the UK. Guess what? Last evening, Princess Anne visited his farm. It has never happened. Jamaa anapatia wazungu ugali. It has never happened. And they're flocking his farm. Yet we cannot grow a maize here to satisfy ourselves.
But maize is an animal feed.
He is feeding white maize to wazungus. That's the only wonder. It's a big thing over there. It is not animal feed. No. They're eating it. So it is edible.
You see, when maize came to Kenya, and I said the other time that you needed a permit to grow maize in Kenya. Remember that in the 1920s. One of the permits which the white man brought is that Africans were not allowed in Kenya to grow maize. So you needed a special permit to grow maize because maize was animal feed before. It transitioned to us in Kenya chewing it for
If you said that thing right now in a hotel somewhere, you know where you normally eat. Ebu enda useme hivyo tena. Ebu try that out. It was animal feed.
Ladies and gentlemen, just know that maize used to be animal feed. We just repurposed
Ugali
it.
is a staple food.
In Kenya.
Of course. In Africa. In South Africa, they call it pap.
No, but we don't eat it that much.
We do. We only actually happen to be diversifying right now because somebody somewhere realized that they can make some money out of it corruptly, just like they did with sugar. They realized that maize can be as sweet as sugar, and that's why they're doing all these things. But it is our food, our staple meals. And actually, if you want to face the riots
Yes.
in this country,
Yeah.
tamper with ugali, maize, just like Sudanese did with bread. It brought down al-Bashir.
You know, the politics of bread has always been like that. Even in Nigeria, even in Israel, you cannot tamper. Even in Morocco. You know, in bread in Egypt, is it in Israel where you don't need... I can find you carrying a loaf of bread and just cut mine.
Actually, in Egypt, is even the evening, anytime in the streets sold out there, it comes in all shapes and designs.
Yes.
Just bread. They even, those open bakeries where they do these things in the street. You know, it is, but now our bread is ugali. Our bread is ugali. Dare do that. To us, I know many Kenyans who are listening to us. Growing up, bread was luxury, you know. But ugali, January to January.
It's a must.
Yeah, and for us, of course, Kiarie.
No, Kiarie.
Just like you did. As I told you, this is food for the kings and queens, bwana. They produce those.
What, Kiarie?
Yeah, of course. No, mashakura. Ile ya mlimani wajua.
I told you.
That's why you are where you are right now.
Mashakura is the worst food should be...
What do you mean?
Yeah.
No. Mashakura is okay. I think you are referring to something called njahe.
Yeah. The politics of food in Africa is the most interesting thing. Because in Africa, people eat what they deem to be good for them. But some of the foods we eat have zero nutritional value.
Yes,
what is the nutritional value of matumbo?
I don't know. I don't think there is any nutritional value to that, but of course, it is more psychological. Umekula matumbo, so you love it.
Ladies and gentlemen, just know matumbo has zero nutritional value. And if you think I'm wrong, write to us and tell us what nutritional value, or if you're a doctor, give us the nutritional value of matumbo and why people should be eating
Charles,
matumbo.
when did you last eat matumbo?
Around 7 years ago.
I think I can smell a lie.
No, I swear, I don't eat red meat.
You don't eat red meat?
Completely.
What about mbuzi?
I don't.
The mbuzi that we do over here?
I don't.
Sure.
Yes.
Mbuzi?
I only do white meat, fish and chicken.
But do you say? I also don't like a lot of red meat, but of course once in a while. But yes, still going back to that mashakura topic, it's not very nutritious, and that's why they say that it's one of the leading causes of diabetes in my region.
Is what?
Is that mashakura thing, you know, but rice, githeri, you know, even beans are not purely protein. 70% of any bean that you see there is carbs. So you're eating carbs in beans, carbs in maize, mixed together, and then hapo kando unaweka rice, you know. Then the only green thing you have is cabbage, which is like an excuse of vegetables.
And they say kafishi.
Of course. Okay, you know too much about my people now.
Kafishi.
Of course, and the other green that we can talk about is sukuma wiki. Which grows wild in Zimbabwe, where this mwanaka comes from. It grows wild. And I think that's where it came from before moving into Tanzania and then here. So it's basically a very new vegetable that is actually being abused. And now it could actually kill you, because if it's not grown well, we are talking about food safety now.
Something from Tanzania. Ladies and gentlemen, we tell you in this show, we reveal firsthand. Those are very big rumor that Diamond Platnumz has taken a new wife, a second one, Aliyah. But 3 hours ago, Diamond Platnumz, but Chibu Dangote, the man, my friend, has denied the rumors that he's taken Aliyah as a second wife. So Chibu says, and I quote, that I have been seen riding in a woman's vehicle, and people are saying that I've decided to get married to a second wife. No, I have not married a second wife. I do not want to have a quarrel with my wife. But the most interesting things about this story is that before Diamond started dating Zuchu, who is a wife, and before getting married to Zuchu, Diamond was dating a girl who used to be in Wasafi, known as Aliyah. Aliyah used to be a presenter in his station, and there is a story that they have a baby together. But now, when Zuchu came into the picture, Zuchu hosted, Aliyah was hosting Zuchu as a friend, and Zuchu ended being married by Diamond. So now that became a big fallout between the two girls, and people are thinking now that Diamond has gone back to the old flame, but Diamond is denying that I'm not married to Aliyah, as it's just I want to release a new song, and that's the reason. But here in Nairobi, talking about new songs, the young man I call my son Bahati, has released an explicit song called Seti, with a girl almost naked on it, and as a video vixen. And this has sparked a lot of reaction. I don't know whether you guys have seen it. Bahati's new song, where the wife Dana Murwa has dissociated himself, but saying that she's not going to involve her brand with the husband's musical career. But what is interesting is that people are really talking about the way the video looks like, and many people have said that Bahati has crossed the line. Alex, do you think Bahati has crossed the line?
I just saw what you showed me and I'm shocked. This is a former gospel singer?
Yes.
Oh no, is it a video he's selling, or is it a song?
It's a song.
What's behind the song?
Seti.
You know the thing is, we happen to have a bloodline between good music and a good video that accompanies it.
Yeah.
What's in that song that makes it so different and uniquely to deserve such kind of a raunchy video? Because that's not even an almost, is it a lap dance or what?
It's a lap dance, actually.
That's what the things that happen in those stag parties, you know? Just brought them out. And Atusema is just setting up. You know, these are things that
the
happen.
song is called Set.
Yeah, he's setting us up, man. These things happen during stags parties, not in the open. So I don't know. But the fact that this is a former gospel singer who has gone to this level, I know that some of the artists have been so controversial from way back, happen to have a very religious background, including our old lady now called Madonna, Coletta, Veronica. She was a very staunch Catholic, and now you saw she ended up upsetting even the Catholic Church itself. Before her, there was another bad girl called Cyndi Lauper.
Yeah.
Also, actually, she protested in a convent somewhere and ended up being what she was. But for this, I think my morals are a bit too guarded to even allow myself to to talk about Diamond, because I wrote him off way back.
Why would you write Chibu Dangote off?
No, I'm sorry, but I think my bar when it comes to music is a bit too high. And very few artists actually reach that. They hit it. As much as I'm not really much into music like you, but I do have an taste that...
You have zero artistic...
I do have a taste of music, actually. I know a lot of stuff, but this... no. I'm not seeing any music here. I'm seeing a video that is a bit more... let me say, can I... Not raunchy, let me not use that word, X-rated.
And what I would say and what I would advise our artists out there maybe is that in this digital age, it doesn't look good for you to do a very raunchy video, especially if you're a dad, because you have kids growing up, and those whatever you put online will remain there for quite a while.
Doesn't forget.
So maybe you're doing it for the moment, you're doing it for numbers, you're doing it for kicks, you're doing it for social media and many people to join and see how well you are. But beware that social media does not forget. And you will be reminded one day, and you'll be too embarrassed to see yourself being lap danced or the books on woman.
And you'll not be the last. Don't try to outshine the previous people who did it.
Yeah.
Did you know that Yellowman did very dirty songs way back, but he never did them on video? It was more like recorded.
Yes.
Artists have done very dirty songs way back, but there is some form of art in that. They have specific spaces where this can be played. But now, when you go and start, displaying yourself in such a manner in public, and even that digital footprint, and you are a parent, surely I think much as we would like to make our own Ezekiel Mutua grow a bald head,
my friend Ezekiel cannot grow a bald head. He has too much hair.
No. This one, sasa mtamfanya wote kipara bwana.
He has too much hair.
This too much stress, man, to him.
So what you're saying, we're saying that we need a bit of clean content on our airwaves, and if you're doing something, just do something sometimes clean for the people. And that's why I like when you listen to Costa Ojuizi. He does clean music, and it's something very interesting. There's no innuendo, there's no sex in it, but it plays very well, and Costa has a great following.
But you see, even Diamond has had songs that usually have those so-called innuendos, as you just call them, but there is a poetic way of doing things. Actually, interestingly, I think he featured his mother-in-law on one of his videos.
Khadija Kopa, yes.
Yeah. And, there is that poetic look at things, take at some of those things that are a bit more behind the scenes, things that should be spoken about behind the curtains, but you bring it out in a poetic manner. Swahili has its own way of doing poetry, and every language has that. We do not have to do everything. Leave something to the imagination.
100%.
Yeah.
And we are talking about leaving things to imagination. Our good President William Samoei Ruto, ladies and gentlemen, today shed tears when receiving the Kenyan team that participated in World Athletic Championships in Tokyo, Japan. Did you know the word in Tokyo, Japan? And I read today that the word sugoi, and he's a man from Sugoi. The word sugoi in Japanese means extraordinary.
And our team was
extraordinary.
I
So
agree with you.
Sugoi man whips in front of
A Sugoi team.
Sugoi team.
That's interesting. And I think
In Japanese, Sugoi is actually extraordinary.
it is a Sugoi thing, actually. It's a very Sugoi thing for him to pull such, because whenever I watch our athletes smash those records,
Yeah.
whenever I see them winning, actually, my eyes well with tears. Because that's the best thing that you can ever think about as a Kenyan, especially if you are watching this thing in a foreign land. Oh, the pride. But I just hope that he won't use houses to gift them.
Are you trying to say that?
Affordable.
Are you trying to say the president?
Not happen again. No.
Are you trying to say that the
No,
president was shedding crocodile tears?
No. They were genuine tears, because I have also shed tears before. I saw.
How
my
sure are
team.
you they were not
However,
crocodile tears?
I hope it will not end up on our housing, affordable housing thing. Let it not go back there. Let it not end there, because I think that's where he's headed for.
What we can say,
Can you just give us the full story? What did he say? What is he gifting them?
he's saying that the president says that actually it is an honor for those girls to have, and young men and girls, to perform extraordinary.
Yes.
Among 198 nations, for Kenya to be second,
We were the
just
second
behind the United States,
Exactly.
showcases our ability, our strength, our honor, our pride to
And
stand
I totally
tall
agree.
among everyone.
I totally
that we are
agree
a
with
giant. So Kenya is a giant in the world, and we agree 100%.
I totally agree with him.
But my issue with the
Remember
president-
that Russia did not participate. China, I don't know where they were, but here we are. And even if they were, it's not the first time we have done this well.
Yeah.
But this was extraordinary. It was Sugoi.
It was Sugoi.
Yes.
But
It
so
was
Sugoi man,
Yes.
it was Sugoi.
It was Sugoi. But
But
can it not end up on the affordable housing as gifts?
it's okay. Mr. President, we are telling you, we do not expect you to give these guys houses only. Be more
kindly.
creative.
Yeah.
Be more innovative. Uplift their lives. But it is your duty to make sure that Kenya shines.
And is it possible, Charles, for us to have a more expanded athletic team beyond the long races and the traditional ones? Because I'm very sure we had a gentleman from Western Kenya who was doing short races, 100 meters, and did so well. We could have cultivated more talents.
No, but there are many people. Omanyala was there. He just was knocked out on the semi-finals.
Yes.
So there are many people.
Can we have more young
Oh,
Omanyalas happening?
When you win, male people get into the races. And right now, track, after Omanyala's win for 100 meters, has inspired many African countries to go for sprints.
Yes.
Remember in the 80s, there was Kennedy Ondieki, Yobes Ondieki, and the rest who were fantastic for the Kenyan team. And they made sure that we
When
were
was that?
competing. In the 80s and 90s, Yobes Ondieki, Kennedy Ondieki, 100 meters, 200 meters, fantastic people. Don't forget that Kina Ouko were fantastic sprinters. Kenya actually was known for sprinting.
Yes.
And then what happened is that people took a backseat because the road races started earning people more money. You see now, the biggest problem we have in Africa today is that there are many what we call road races, which are big money races in the cities, in the capitals of the world. The Berlin marathons, the Boston, the Chicago, the Rotterdam. These are big money. So many people know, athletes, that if I do 5 of them and I earn 10 million each, I'll retire home and dry. So people have shifted from usual short distance races, which are not in the road race, are not part of the road race.
So does it mean that sprints don't have a lot of money?
It doesn't mean that. It means that people prefer to go there for marathons because marathons are organized as in the cities. And there is a lot of big money behind marathons.
So we'll have more races
and you'll have more races and more earnings.
And is it also that maybe the sprints are more competitive?
No. It's only that the sprints, the sprints, unless you're going for world championship and you're going for the medals and all that, there are very few meets for the sprints. as compared to world capitals doing Chicago, Boston, Nairobi, Kampala. All the world's cities have a marathon.
But you agree that you have that kind of talent? Because
London.
I saw Diego. Did you see Diego also throwing the javelin?
Yes, we have.
When did Diego start doing this?
No, Diego has been there, but Diego, because he's self-trained, so I think he's a
YouTube.
YouTube trained. So he's trying to get his groove back, and he was injured. This one, he didn't go that far. But there's a chance for us to have proper training and equip our kids in schools with the proper javelin skills, which we don't do. Even shot put, Kenyans can do better. But the way we do our shot put here, and the way shot put is done in the international stage is different. Remember?
Yeah, it's a bit different.
So as we do it very traditionally, and it cannot take you to Olympic standard. So we need to have a standard for throwing javelins, throwing shot put, discus.
Just to widen this conversation, don't you think the state is wasting a golden opportunity to get these young people off the streets by giving them opportunities to grow? Because I know, even in music as we speak, if our music sector and the royalties and copyright issues are settled out and music pays more, don't you think this will get more young people into employment, or rather self-sustaining employment, like the bands in the West, the athletes and such things, so that we have more and more of them in that creative space?
You see, the government has never helped athletes because they've never built a stadium. They've never given them training facility. These characters who give us glory, honor, and all that, train on the roadsides, and few of them go to those Kaptagat training camps, which are either foreign owned or people who have set up businesses. The government needs to invest in high altitude, which they've never. The same way we've never invested in music as our next change.
No, but Charles, music used to work until I think 1990.
What?
When we had, music used to work. If you look at some of our prominent people around here, some of them were artists, including Betty Tate. If you recall the Kenya Blue Stars Band, it was her project, and actually it was her way to riches.
You see why music
because
worked?
You could release a song and earn from it.
You see, music used to work, and I do not believe because of anything, because the company which, when we are doing vinyl, the plant was in industrial area.
Yes.
And the studios were around Nairobi, Polygram and High Fidelity. So that's because it was foreign owned. And so when you talk about Betty Tate owned Andrew Crawford, was Andrew Crawford Productions.
No, she did not own. She worked there until now. She bought it later.
That's what I'm saying. She owned it from Andrew Crawford.
Yes.
It was Andrew Crawford's.
Yes, but the thing is, what's going on with the music companies? If Sony Records, Universal Records are still sustaining themselves in business, what are they doing right that we are doing wrong?
We are not doing anything wrong. We are just not having proper organization of how to produce good music.
Good. Because why are West Africans thriving? The Kora music. South Africans in their Gallo Records and many more. You remember a man called Chico? Mm-hmm. Chico was singing in the 80s, and then later on he became a music producer. He's still okay. They're all into music records, but they work as music companies, record labels. We don't have any here. I think the last left, was it Assonance?
Yeah, those were foreign-owned music, but we have young music production houses.
Are they paying the artists?
Yes, they are. It's only that the magnitude is not the level where we used to be.
Diamond, how is he doing it?
Diamond is owned by another guy called my friend Joseph Kusaga.
Good.
He's a rich man.
Can he be able to replicate the same here?
You need
because them mushrooms, I think, were the only organized band that could also produce music and produce others and make them benefit from their talent without having to invest themselves and everything,
Yeah, it's true. It's true. So what we can do, I think we'll look at music much, much more later. The beautiful Natasha and Prophet Camel, Mama Oracle herself, the way her followers call her, Mama Oracle, seems not to be happy with the hubby, Prophet Camel, because what is happening in the kingdom. The story is Prophet Carmel, recently posted a spiritual daughter known as Karan Rajan, and they were dressed in matching outfits, head to toe, with an inscription that she is a gift to the kingdom. So this did not go well with our beautiful Natasha, the prophet, because netizens started rumors that it seems Carmel is having a thing, which is not true, because Carmel has come out and said, no, I don't have a thing with this lady. She's my spiritual daughter. But it seems that there's trouble in paradise, because currently Madam Lucy Natasha is in the United States, in New York, holidaying alone. And Carmel has been away from, and no one is posting each other. So you know the way these celebrities happen nowadays. If you see they do not post each other, just know there's trouble in kingdom or paradise. And it seems there's trouble. But the question is, these spiritual daughters, are they something we can discuss, or these spiritual daughters are more than what they are? Because if even a preacher would feel jilted because of a spiritual daughter, so what happens? If you know a spiritual daughter who has ended up in this situation, or you are a spiritual daughter in that situation, let us know. If you are, I hear churches, some people call baby daddy and others are called mommy. So have your daddy crossed the line, or your mother crossed the line with you? And if so, what do you guys discuss that now you can see our beautiful Lucy Natasha is not very happy with Prophet Carmel, the husband, because of Karen Rajan. And Karen Rajan, as I said, Carmel described her spiritual daughter as a rare gift to the kingdom. What do you think, my brother?
DJ just played here beautiful song.
Yes.
And, games people play.
Yeah.
And I sit here and I say, okay, Charles.
Yeah.
You are the oracle of Limuru.
Why am I oracle of Limuru?
This guy here is an oracle from India. He's from India. Where?
From India.
I'm telling you, these churches. Oh, no. Not all churches, but these charismatic churches. I don't know. Something terribly wrong. Let me just ask you.
Yes.
Why will you be talking about a reverend and her husband in the aspect of cheating and with, or possibly being on holiday alone because of a spiritual daughter involved in these things? Is it because she is Natasha, or is it because of the church?
You know, when it quacks, it's a duck.
Like a duck, it could be a duck.
Yes.
This could be it.
Yes, it could be it.
You know one thing?
Yeah.
Give me the all-time religion. You know that song?
Yes, give me the order.
Yes, it's from the Caribbean. I prefer the all-time religion. If these are the preachers, I'm sorry. Nah.
You see, one day, and this is what I'm saying, on Sunday, September 21st, during a sermon in her church, Natasha preached about marriage, leaving many convinced that there was indeed trouble in paradise. And I quote what she says: "Women who are called in the ministry, marriage is not just about romance. It is about mental decision. And because you are single, you can still get it right. A careless yes can silence your voice, but a covenant with a grown man can quench your life passion for God. So your marital choice, you need to know it is not just a personal choice. It is a decision of destiny, and one wrong yes can affect your life, passion, your energy, future, and even your legacy," she shared. What is she saying about? What is this in church?
Trouble in paradise, as you said?
Of course.
All made in
in India.
It's a song called Made in India.
And you know what happened?
By a
You know what?
lady
The way, I know the head like, naughty, naughty, naughty.
Actually,
Too
there's
much.
a song.
Yes.
There's a song called Made in India by a lady called Alicia Chinay. I think a DJ can look for that song for us. It's called Made in India. This is trouble. Okay. Love, lies, marriage, all made in India. Of course, played out in Kenya, but not about God. This is just their troubles. And I really think twice whenever I hear these churches that are driven by individuals. I believe in that all-time religion where you have a church that's run by people, but of course not the Quakers. Because Quakers...
No, Quakers are good church. What are you talking?
Yes.
So what can we do about our churches?
Hold on.
Then? Yes.
Hold on.
Yeah.
Quakers. I know we have got a good editor here we call Vidija. I think you should invite Vidija to come and talk about that issue here. We covered that thing last weekend about trouble also in the Quakers. But you see, the Quakers is a Protestant church. It's a legacy church that is now experiencing all these issues. But it is the manner in which it's coming out that is actually making everyone get shocked. However, it's, yes, a good church, I agree. And of course, some issues about it that I love is that they are really dedicated to their God and to their church. Lakini haya mambo haya tunaona hapa, no. Helicopters and the likes, no, I'm sorry, no.
So the Bible says, choose a right church. I'm not saying there's a wrong church, but choose a right church which can help you grow spiritually.
Are these churches or businesses?
You know, and this is, let me tell you how I judge a village. Personally. If you come from these villages, just know you are in trouble. And this is how I judge a village. If you go to a village where you have too many banderas of churches, then no, your village will not have anyone but poverty. Poverty is totally actually described by the number of so many small churches with banderas. Have you seen those two flags? The yellow, green, what?
But you see,
these are the people who cheat Kenyans.
Which church has banderas? Zawapi hizo?
Are there many?
I know. I see some of them, of course, they're not local churches, but you see some of them, of course, walking behind a bandera somewhere. Yeah. Are you trying to tell us that these churches from some parts of Kenya are steeped in poverty?
Those are poverty churches.
What do you say that?
100%. Because if you go to the village,
have a bandera?
Let me ask you. One of the biggest questions I ask those churches with the banderas, and they can disapprove me on air because I'm saying it live, is show me which school they've built. Show me which hospital they've built for their community. Show me schools which are aligned with them, education, health, social structures.
No, but Charles, we do have a lot of structures that are built by, of course,
the churches, the mainstream churches, which are not, they are not only evangelical, they are not bandera churches. Yeah. I'm talking about traditionally well-established churches which believe you grow spiritually, you are not, and then you also grow physically. It's a holistic thing. The ministry is beyond that.
Okay, we'll talk about my church later because I think it has not really done so well.
But you can disapprove me.
Health and in terms of schools, but it's doing something. However, is it almost 4 or 5 types of churches that we have in the country? Of course, we have the Catholic Church, the Protestant churches, where we have our own Anglicans, the Quakers and the likes. Then we also have our own African independent churches. If you go to Mount Kenya region and you think you have heard of Indy is the IPCA church, which broke off from the Orthodox Church, which actually was involved in the fight for independence, together with the Orthodox Church.
It's the same, the IPCA church is just like Legio Maria broke off from Catholic.
Just like now Legio Maria, of course.
And Nomia Luo Church as well.
But Nomia is a bit off. Then now we have got these others that we call the charismatic churches. And that's where the trouble is.
That's trouble.
That's trouble.
And we don't mean evangelicals. We mean
evangelicals are different. Evangelicals and Pentecostals, those are different. But charismatic churches,
there's a problem there.
There's a big problem,
and we must address it.
And I think I now agree with you. That issue that we're talking about, the filth in religion, because the charismatic churches to me is just a degree below or above a cult.
Yes, of course, because it's a one-man show.
It's a one-man show. Someone trying to convince people to follow his twisted ideologies. Some of them engage in some very, very interesting acts that can even leave you asking yourself, where are we? So they border on cultism, if not occultism, because those are two different things.
Yeah.
An occult and a cult are
two different things. Yeah.
See,
yeah.
what we saw in Shakahola, kwa Binzaro,
yes,
that's a cult.
Yeah.
But it actually began as a charismatic thing.
Yeah.
It's about Mackenzie. He had his own TV channel here, preaching, asking people to donate, and they were doing everything.
And they tell you to stop going to take your children to school. And
now he degraded further and now went to push people to meet Jesus, starve themselves, forget about the worldly belongings and life, and now go and do what? Meet their God in the wilderness. It's a joke.
Actually, it's the biggest joke. But remember, as I said again, and we are telling you, beware of benderas. Beware of the flag.
Benderas are okay. I love the drums. The drumming is just amazing.
I don't have a problem with the drums.
Have you ever been to those? I think I went to a funeral service in Western Kenya a while back, and there's a church called the African Divine Church. My friend, the music is amazing. They sing and they don't do anything. They just praise the God and go home.
I have no problem with...
So you're trouble with bendera. I think I'll fear a cult and a charismatic thing more than a bendera. Those benderas are okay.
But benderas are the precursor of poverty.
No, but which part of the world that is wallowing in poverty does not embrace religion?
When Karl Marx said religion is the opium of the world. It is,
because when you look at the level of poverty in mostly countries such as Brazil, South America, most of them are Catholic. When you look at sub-Saharan African Muslim countries, Sunni.
And if you go to Congo,
why is
Kiabangu.
Exactly. There is, but actually, I rather deal with the Congolese Kimbangist church than deal with the charismatic churches over there. There is a certain guy there who was selling people holy water, and they could not even go to the hospitals. Some of them died in Congo. You see, Kimbangists are okay. They believe that Jesus is black. Actually, we sing some of the songs that we sing here began as Kimbangist gospel songs.
Yeah.
You see, because they've been adopted, they have structured, and they have their own schools. But the charismatic churches in Congo, in Zimbabwe, in South Africa, in Kenya, in Nigeria, those are killer cults.
Your word, Alex, I think you've heard it. When you come back, we come with another story. Why do Luos, Luyas, and Kisses never leave Mombasa? You lived in Mombasa. You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about.
Why
Mombasa
Luya,
Raha?
Why Luya, Kisii, and Luo?
Yeah, don't leave Mombasa when they go there. They reach Mariakani and drive back to Mombasa. And if you are Luo or Luya or who've been in Mombasa for 20 years or never gone to your village, tell us, why are you not ever going home? When we are talking about religion and the benderas and churches, and I asked Alex a very simple question. Why do you think most men from upcountry and specifically from Western Nyanza do not go back home when they land into Mombasa? And this story is this is what a lady said a week or so ago, that upcountry men, especially Luos, when you arrive in Mombasa, you want to experience the pleasures you heard about Luo Digo can provide. I want to talk to you. When you come to Mombasa and cross the ferry and go searching for a Digo woman, when they see you, we see money. We will do anything for you, but you'll never go home. If we see you, we have cash. We will remove your shoes. We'll welcome you in, cook and wash you, and even carry you on our backs. And then she admits that witchcraft plays a role in keeping the men trapped. We collaborate with our fathers and mothers to put a paraphernalia on the men. Whenever you try to act tough, we will sit with our mothers and discuss what to do. You lose your job, become insane, or go back up country without money.
Witchcraft.
She also faults men who build matrimonial homes on their father-in-law's land and build rentals for their wives. Now there are these confused fellas. I wonder what they are brought up. You marry a coastal woman and then you proceed to build her a mansionette on a land she has given you. She says most men love to be pampered. Women from upcountry learn to pamper, served and treat their husbands politely with respect. The Digo men are always trained to treat their women like princesses. You lived in Mombasa.
Kon mashinani one.
So tell us.
There's nothing wrong with them. I don't know. You see, this conversation has specifically mentioned Luo. So talk about Luo, Luya, and Kisi.
Yes.
Okay, they're not called
They're
Kisi.
kept in
They're called Abagusi.
Abagusi.
Yes, that's the need. Now, Mombasa is a tourist town, and I don't think actually it's a Mombasa issue actually. Because when you're talking about Mombasa, people talk about a place like Mtwapa. Mtwapa is not in Mombasa.
It's in Kilifi.
It's in Kilifi.
Yeah, it's in Kilifi.
Let's talk about Diani and the likes. No, those are in Kwale, Kilifi, not Mombasa. But basically, I think it speaks to what men want.
What do men want? That's a question. What do you think men want,
Respect.
Alex? And?
Respect, that's all. If there is anything that any African man, especially from the communities that you mentioned, I don't know where we happen to be at Omurima, because I'm not seeing any of them mentioned in that list, because they're the ones who actually end up investing there heavily. But of course, they don't invest on their in-laws' land.
Yeah.
The thing that makes a man stay is a submissive and respectful woman. That's all. You do that, you'll get everything. And they have learned this, and they've now put it in practice, and I've seen that it's working, and it has never stopped working for them.
But listen, this lady says that there are guys who, when you try to act tough, it's not about respect. They put paraphernalia.
Okay, I don't believe in witchcraft, but of course I can admit that it's rampant at the coast, just like it is with the very many communities that live around the ocean. And of course, even the lake. What
is the intellectualism about? Let's talk about what brings the spirits of the lake and the spirits of the oceans. And
it is a cultural thing, because the people who live along the ocean are one people. Even if you listen to their music, there is a shared culture of witchcraft. We call them mushrikina in Kiswahili. That is all over. From here to the Caribbean and all over. Even their music is almost the same. If you listen to Chakacha music from the coastal region of Kenya, Tanzania, and then now move to Comoros Islands and an island called the Seychelles, it's almost the same. Almost the same. So it is something that is within them, and even amongst the communities that live along the lakes, they do have those things. For us, people from Mount Kenya are not really into witchcraft, but they are consumers. Because the witchcraft that you normally see being mentioned, you'll hear them talking about Menda, Tanzania, they've gone to Kambani and all these things, but it has not been there because it's a Maasai thing. Maasais are not into those things, and most Kikuyus actually have some Maasai genes, including your former president.
Which one?
Both. The Kenyatas.
But Kenyatas are Banyoro.
No, that's a Maasai.
No, they can't be Maasai. They are Banyoros.
No. Those are just conversations that happened. But Kenyatta was born in Githunguri, rather in Gatundu. That's what their family is. So that Banyoro aspect of it has been mentioned, I've seen, but you can actually tell where he was born and actually his ancestor, the Maasai ancestor. You can tell.
And now, let me disapprove you.
Yes.
Jomo Kenyatta changed his name upon learning that he was a Banyoro.
It is a narrative that is yet to be confirmed.
No. The former Justice Luther, and you can go and look for it, was with Jomo Kenyatta 1 in 1962 Uganda celebrations. And they went to Banyoro Kingdom.
Who are Bantus, of course.
But the kingship is Luo. Don't forget that, eh?
No. Luo people have never been known to have kingships. They do not believe in monarchs.
The whole kingship in Uganda is Luo kingship, from Baganda, Banyoro, Batoro.
What are you talking about? Why don't they have their own? Why don't we have a kingdom of Acholi, a kingdom of Alur, kingdom of Langi?
No, you should read my book, which is up almost.
I'll read it.
Ready.
Then let's discuss it when it comes.
You'll read my book on the migration of Africans.
I know. I understand all these things, but remember that, like now, all communities in Kenya, apart from the Wanga, none of them had a kingdom. And even the Wanga kingdom actually originated from Uganda, from the Baganda kingdom.
Of course, but the kingship of Uganda, the Baganda kingdom, was formulated by the Bito Luo kingdom, which was the Abachwezi kingdom.
Why don't Luos in Uganda, in Kenya, in Ethiopia, the Anuak, have a kingdom? We have never seen a kingdom. They are ruled by elders, a council of elders.
Because Luo kingdoms have always been, as you read the Western Nilotic, we call it the G speakers. The G speakers. Now I'll get too deep. Let's not get into the G speakers.
You're taking me back to the roots.
Yeah,
your roots.
Yes, I will get back to.
Because I'll let the book come out. We'll be able to dissect it. Because
okay.
But back to our women, the Digo women.
Yes.
What attracts Luo men to Digo women?
They said that it's the submissiveness, the character, and the politeness. And they said, there's a guy who is saying that we have a brother who says every time he plans a trip home, it aborts when he reaches Mariakani. He has never gone past Mariakani.
In all this conversation, do you see the biggest witchcraft that is happening?
Which is the biggest?
The politeness, submissiveness. What else? That's the biggest witchcraft for me. For anyone.
Witchcraft was there even in the UK.
I know. Black magic.
Yeah,
it was there. It's a big thing in Europe, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what we can say is that, my brother, if you're in Mombasa for 20 years and you've never gone to the village, tell us why you've not gone to the village. Is it because you love these ladies so much? Is it because land is cheap and you can afford? Is it because the love is too sweet that you can't leave and come back and visit your folks?
And do we have anybody from Mukambani or Murima who is also stuck there because of these love issues?
They should tell us. They are listening to us. They should tell us.
Because why Luo
Akisi
and Abagusi?
My friends, if you're stuck, if you know you are stuck in Mombasa Raha, please let us know.
No, Mombasa Karaha.
Karaha, what do you mean Karaha?
Karaha is tragedy.
Is a tragedy.
I know some little Swahili, of course.
What do you mean Karaha is tragedy?
Of course, the Raha, of course, the Swahili say Raha, it is the Raha.
Yeah.
Si Raha bali Karaha. Yes. About voodoo.
Benin and voodoo.
Yes.
Africa, let me tell you a story. The man, where does the name Juja come from?
Juja?
Yeah.
You tell me.
Juja comes from Ju and Ja. There were two Benin paintings of witchcraft, which was bought by Arthur Macmillan, the man who founded Juja Farm. Ju and Ja. After
whom the Macmillan Library
is named. Yes.
It's named after.
The Macmillan, the gentleman, had a waist of 39. It was the largest waist. Mm-hmm. So when Macmillan came and settled, unlike the Europeans, Macmillan was an American.
Yes.
So when he came to Kenya, he decided, and he came with these two paintings, Ju and Ja. Ju and Ja. They were paintings about voodoo in Benin. He had bought them from Benin. When he came to Kenya and settled in Kenya, he decided to join the two paintings together and called his farm in Juja, Kilimambogo, then Juja Farm.
After the paintings.
After the painting.
So it's a combination of the two paintings.
Of the two paintings.
Okay.
The Juja comes from Ju and Ja, and the two paintings from Benin, from voodoo, Juja Farm.
But,
so then he established Juja Farm. Just a minute. He established his Juja Farm. And then Juja Farm is where we have now Juja. And you see the spate of killings, deaths in Juja. I don't think.
No. I don't think Juja has all those things. Anyway, but I know one thing. Juja is part of Kiambu, of course.
Of course. I studied in Kalimoni Primary School, which is in Juja.
Yeah.
You know, my primary school was Kalimoni Boarding Primary School.
Was it known for the killings?
It's a missionary school.
Was it known for the killings?
I went to a very proper school.
It's a proper school that is in a place that you're claiming to have.
No, but I'm giving you the background of Juja, and then we're talking about voodoo.
But the thing is, you are trying to connect voodoo to negativity. Voodoo is a religion.
I agree.
It is a religion. Actually, the capital of voodoo is Benin. That's where it's a national religion. Of course, it has those African cultural aspects and religious rites that are considered by some people to be of witchcraft or negative in nature. But did you also know that the other country that mirrors the culture of Benin is Haiti?
Mm-hmm.
The only black independent black nation in the Western Hemisphere. It is the only one. Indigenous black independent country born out of slavery is Haiti. And actually they practice voodooism. It is also their national religion. Their culture mirrors what we normally see in Benin. Mm-hmm. But now there is this aspect of people having negative perceptions about voodooism, which to me I think it's
unfounded.
It's very unfounded because it is something that is celebrated by their own people. It is a cultural thing. But since we feel like anything African is not so good and it's dark and everything, did I also mention that in Haiti and Benin, Catholicism also has embraced it?
Voodooism.
Yes. We have, it's part of, when you look at the Haitian Catholic, they embrace it. It's part of the liturgy. Voodooism is part of their liturgy because it's the national religion. However, a man who ruled that country called Papa Doc,
the Mad Dog,
that character,
the Mad Dog,
is the one who bastardized the whole thing because
the Mad Dog. Yeah.
Yes, he used it for his own preservation, but he never believed in it himself.
Yeah.
You see? But the people there, the national fabric and everything, the public, they embrace voodooism as their own religion. And it's just applicable there. Just like the one you spoke about in DRC called Kimbangism. Kimbangism, it's something that was started by, even listen to most of the Congolese music. You'll hear Simon Kimbangu. Mm-hmm. Simon Kimbangu is the founder of the Kimbangist religion, which is so big, and actually it was very much involved in the fight for independence from Belgians back then.
Yeah.
But when you listen to them sing, you will never see anything negative. They have built schools. You see, they have built hospitals. They even have exchange programs with established Scottish religious entities, especially the Salvation Army. They go there and they perform very well. So maybe not, but of course we Christians don't embrace witchcraft or African cultures and everything. I also don't believe in witchcraft and everything, but if it is working for them, let them be.
Alex.
Boros in Rogue.
Alex.
Yes. I'm a Christian.
You know.
I'm an Anglican, yes.
You're an Anglican.
Yes, I'm an Anglican.
There's a gentleman, before we proceed with Kibinguist and all that, there's a gentleman who asked you a very simple question. It's called Martin. Alex, please define Mashakura.
Food that swims and makes you swim in life. Anything good food, but with a lot of water in it, with floats and everything. You eat that, nothing can beat you in life.
Huh?
Nothing can beat you in life.
You
We have beauty. Look at our girls. And I've been saying that. Look at our girls. They're irresistible. You see.
To who?
To everyone else. Including us. You see, including actually you. You see.
No.
And I said,
resist.
And I said, 3 presidents. Is it 4? 3 presidents. A Nobel Peace Laureate. Of course, whole number of tycoons, and of course a bunch of criminals around. Mashakura.
Mashakura is real,
swimming, Yeah, swimming food and swim. Okay, I don't like it.
I know you don't. The way you're talking about it is crazy, man. But listen, Alex, you know, we've discussed very many topics. We talked about Kiambu, we talked about very many issues of the day. We talked about church, divinity, spirituality. We've also looked at what ails our country health-wise. And of course, the men who have refused to come back from Mombasa City. What is your take for today?
I love it. Lively, lovely, and also, of course, full of lessons.
Yeah.
I'm really proud of being an African. Mm-hmm. Of course, we can do better.
Yeah.
And I believe that as we interact with these challenges, we can always find a solution out of them, especially the ones that negatively affect us. Especially right now, we're talking about health issues, not just in Kiambu. It's a national disaster.
Yeah.
The SHA issues and everything, governance. If you can just work around our governance issues, with or without these issues of Mashakura, with these issues of people getting stuck wherever, if they will be happy to do that happily, of course, and healthy, I'll be fine with it. But also, just before I leave, there's somebody who just shared something here. Today, a flotilla of ships was intercepted by the Israeli army in Gaza.
Yeah.
Trying to distribute aid to the affected communities over there.
Gaza, yeah.
And I understand that there is a Kenyan whose wife has been caught up in the whole mess, part of all this thing. And I hope that we have reached out to the Israeli embassy and they have promised to give a statement on the same. But all that I can say is that what we understand is that they were being moved to an Israeli-controlled port and then they will be deported. So hopefully the husband to this lady who's stuck in Gaza, in the Middle East, will have his wife back, of course, thanks to deportation.
Yeah, and also remember that the Mandela's grandson, Mana, is part of the team which was actually arrested. And
also this climate activist called Greta Thunberg is also part of this. So it's a whole collection of everybody and nobody anyway, from all over the country, the world, across the world, all pushing for the end of this siege on Gaza. And as I promised, we'll need to have the Israeli ambassador, who's actually still very new.
Yeah, we'll invite him for this drive here, so we can discuss
this thing. And also, especially with these calls for the recognition of a Palestinian state, which Israelis are opposed to. And also the whole communication and information that we need to get over these issues that are affecting Gaza. And it's really unfortunate. It's a disaster that is unfolding. But we also not need to forget the fact that we also have our own crisis in Africa that is happening in Sudan.
Yeah, crazy,
and as I said before, we are very much being negatively mentioned. It is unfortunate that Kenya is adversely mentioned in this situation, and of course what's happening in Somalia. Yet we have had our beautiful milestones.
Yeah, we've achieved a lot of stuff.
We founded South Sudan, and the feature on this is happening tonight on KTN between 8 and 9. Of course, it highlights how we midwifed the birth of South Sudan. It's just a look back on how we did it, hopefully with the hope that the people or the powers that be will be able to learn from that and also try to re-angle the foreign policy and regional policy for the country.
I don't want us to get into regional policy. We can get into it tomorrow. But also remember that when we're talking about abductions and arrests and the flotilla, just our neighbors here in Uganda, Bob Njagi was actually also abducted in Bobi Wine's rally. So it is not a very good look for East Africa, because we are not giving our citizens who want to express alternative opinion to thrive.
I think our presidents, Kenya, Tanzania, Uganda, and Rwanda, they just need to think and rethink their policies on human rights.
Because
Tanzania is about to go to elections. You saw what they have done to the opposition. You have seen now what is now starting off in Uganda.
You're forgetting that in Uganda is not starting; it's proceeding, because
it's just proceeding, and they're supposed to be having elections next year, I think.
You remember who Kizza Besigye has been behind bars in a military prison for flimsy reasons,
and he's a civilian. And then beyond that, there's a lady who has been missing, actually away from Rwanda, her home country, for quite a while, because of facing this kind of constant harassment from the Rwandese government. So it's a problem that we are facing, and I hope we will be able to see the light of the day and look back at this and say those were the good old days when times were bad.
Okay. So I think we've captured it very well. Alex, thanks for coming for today. And we really appreciate our conversations, our intellectual discourse here and there on different issues of the day.